back in the kitchen. I'm your host, Jennifer Gailey, and we're going to go ahead and get started because I know you're hungry. So today, who has ever had breakfast with Lilo and Stitch? I know I have. Our favorite breakfast is Ohana. Right now it is not a character dining, but you know what? We're hoping it comes back. My favorite part of the meal was the Ohana bread. That breakfast bread that they come out that has that sweet glaze on top of it, and I'm going to recreate that for you today. So the first thing you're going to need is 1 cup of crushed pineapple. You can have that in a separate bowl. Then you have 1 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You're going to go ahead and mix up the cornstarch and sugar. So this is going to be the filling for your bread. All right, once we're done with that, we're now going to mix 1 cup of shredded coconut in with your crushed pineapple. It's already smelling very tropical in here. And then you're going to add the sugar and cornstarch mixture right in there too. Once you have everything mixed up and combined, you're going to wrap it up and stick it in your refrigerator while your dough proofs or rises. All right. So that is done. We are going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this right into my refrigerator till it's ready. So you want that to get all nice and thick. All right. Now I can take all of these little things and put them off to the side. Now we get started on the dough. So right now I have 1 3/4 cup of warm water. Now I'm using warm water to get this yeast going. All right, then the next thing you're going to add is 1 egg yolk. So I separated an egg yolk. Go ahead and add that in. Trying to get all of it up. The next thing you're going to add is 2 tablespoons of shortening. This is just regular old vegetable shortening, not the flavored butter, just regular old shortening. Then you're going to add in 4.5 cups of high gluten flour, which is bread flour. They have it mixed in for you already. Then you're going to add in 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/3 cup of sugar. And then we just get to mix and let it do its thing. This is a very simple recipe because you just add everything into your mixer and your mixer gets to do the work for you. I like recipes like that for sure. So at Ohana and breakfast time, you get it's a family style. You get the famous pog juice, which I wanted to make for you too because I actually drink it all the time. I just can't find passion fruit juice right now. So if you can find it, then add it in with your breakfast. So you can get Mickey waffles. Before you could have you can meet Lilo, Stitch, Mickey, and Pluto there. Right now the characters are not there, but you still can get the yummy, yummy, yummy Ohana breakfast bread. So now, I bet you can guess. This is going to be a 2-part video. I bet you can guess what is going to happen after we make this bread. You know. You guessed. I want to know. Let me know in the comments below. All right, so now we're just going to let my mixer do its thing. We're going to let it mix up till it comes to a nice dough. It should be nice and smooth and not tear. You don't want it to tear. Because if it tears, that means you haven't developed enough gluten in it to get the structure that you're looking for. I'll show you exactly what we're looking for. So, as you can see, the dough's working. It's lifted off from the sides, which is exactly what you want. You want the dough to come inside and come to the middle. Because you want that dough hook to really do its job. I'm almost there, actually. actually. When you use that high gluten flour and the bread flour, it really, really does not take long to get it to the consistency that you need. Fun fact. Ohana just reopened, right? And when they reopened, they didn't bring back the famous teriyaki noodles. Well, because of the fan base and the outcry of it, Disney brought it back. So you never know what will happen. If we outcry enough, maybe we'll have Lilo and Stitch come back. You never know. All right. Perfect. Let me show you. So look, the dough is not sticking to my hands. That's what you want too. It's not really sticking to the bowl. It's not sticking to my hands. So, let me get it out of there. This is what you want. Nice, fluffy, kind of fluffy, but pretty smooth surface dough. All right? So now what you're going to do is you're going to let this and set it off to the side and let it rise and double in size for about an hour. I always like to do mine on top of my stove, cover it with a damp cloth. That way, it's in a warm spot. I've actually even put it in my oven before. Do not turn your oven on if you put your oven light on. The heat from the light will actually help this expand faster. So, I'm going to let my dough proof, and I'll be right back with you. See you in a bit. All right, so our dough has been proving for about an hour, maybe a little less than that. So now, I'm going to take my dough, and you're going to turn it out onto your floured surface. And you're going to take out your pineapple and coconut mixture. And get your rolling pin, because, you know, I forgot that. So what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of move and roll this out into a rectangle. You want to get it nice and thick, about a ½ an inch. All right. Now the next step. You are going to take your pineapple and coconut mixture, and you're going to, hang on. I am going to drain off some of the liquid. You don't want all the liquid into the bread. So kind of scoop it and spread it. Don't go all the way to the edges, because you are going to have to, we're going to fold this all together. As you can see, I'm just spreading it out over the dough. Alrighty, a little bit more. We are good to go. Now what you're going to do is you're going to fold the dough in on itself. So fold it this way. Alright, then take this side, fold it in. The edges, fold them in. You want to seal the pineapple and coconut mixture into the bread. Now you can go ahead and pinch all the seams. All right, and then the next thing, I like to roll it out just a little bit. All right. You can kind of see a little bubble in there. All right, so everything is sealed inside. You're going to take a pizza cutter. You have a 9x13 pan. Grease it up. We are going to cut chunks out. Think of monkey bread. You got the balls. That's kind of what we're going to do. So we're going to just cut some strips. Perfect. Then you're going to go here and cut the other way. Make some little cubes of the bread. Don't worry, it's not going to stay separated. All right, so now we get to take each of the individual pieces and place them inside your dish. You're just going to place them. They could be random. It does not have to be in any kind of order. Just want to make sure that it's in there. And you cover up the dish. Eee, that was not cut. Does not have to look pretty. Because it's going to prove a little bit more. You're going to let it come to, you know, rise up again. These ones weren't cut all the way. Alrighty, so now you're just going to kind of, the last couple pieces, you're just going to fit into the pan wherever they can fit. Now, this has to now prove again. So you're going to want to let it sit in the oven with the light on. Do not turn your oven on. And let it sit there and let it rise up. You want it to come about a little more than halfway up your pan. That tells you it's ready. When it's ready, when it's up halfway up that pan, you're going to then bake it in a 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And then it's time to take a taste of the wonderful bread. So I will see you back here in about an hour for this fully cooked. All right, see you later. Hi guys, welcome back. So our 20 minutes is up. It took about 22 minutes to finish cooking. So, ready? There it is. There is the yumminess. So, you can add here, let me take it over here. You guys can add a glaze to it. I'm not, because guess what? I'm doing something else with this bread. Yes, that's right. So ready? We'll bring it close to you so you can see. All right, so I'm going to cut into this bread. I want to see what is inside. I got to move it. All right. Ooh. So in a simple glaze can just be some powdered sugar and some water is a perfect glaze. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, so let's look at that. Woo! It smells so pineapple-y. It smells delicious. So I'm going to cut off a little piece. Ideally, you would want this to cool down, but oh my gosh, take me back to Ohana, please. This is perfect. All right, this is only the first part of my plan. Next, I'm going to take this bread, this exact bread we just made, and I'm going to turn it into Ohana bread pudding. So, I got to let this sit for a whole day because you don't want to use it fresh out of the oven. You want to let it sit for a little bit. So, I will see you back. Well, actually, it'll be right after you, but I will be back on my time tomorrow to get ready and make this a bread pudding. All right, I'll see you then. Hi, everybody, and let's welcome back to part 2 of our Ohana bread. So we already made the breakfast bread, and now we're going to take that breakfast bread and turn it into a bread pudding. You ready? Okay, so in my bowl here, I have 5 whole eggs and 3 cups of milk. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to whisk it up. Essentially, you're making a custard. All right, so now in here I also have a half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And then I also have a cup and a half of sugar. And that needs to go in there. All right, and before you do this, you're going to take that Ohana bread that you already made and you're going to chop it up into some bigger chunks. And you're going to put it in an oven for about 350. Toast it up for about 15 or so minutes. Don't make it get too brown. Don't let it burn it. You just want it to toast up and dry out to make the bread pudding. All right. I think everything is nice and combined here. So we'll go ahead and put that down. And now I have my bread already toasted. Oopsies. Ears are falling off. All you need is 8 cups of it. And like I said, they could be bigger chunks, little chunks. you just want it to dry out is what you want to do, because you want it to get some moisture. So, have this all nice and toasted and ready to go. All right. So, I have my bread in here. So, I am going to take my egg milk mixture and I'm going to pour it right on top. Perfect. You're going to take a spoon and you want to really make sure that every piece of the bread is soaking all of that egg custardy goodness. It's pretty much a custard. All right, so we're going to let that sit for a little bit. You're going to take a cake pan. It can be whatever size you want. This is the size we like because we like to bring it out in chunks. You're going to make sure to grease it up. All right, so I think my bread has soaked in all of the moisture of the custard mixture. And now I'm just going to go ahead and pour it into my pan. All right. May not be able to fit all of it in, and that is okay. But what you want to do is you kind of want to smash down the exposed bread. You want to make sure everything is really moist, because that is how you're going to get the luxuriousness of the bread pudding. All righty. I think we're good there. So now this is going to go into a 350-degree oven for about a half hour. Between 15 minutes and a half an hour. I did it for 15 and it wasn't enough. So you just want to keep your eye on it. You're trying to get that egg mixture to bake. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right in my oven, which is right here. All right. Now, while that is cooking, we are going to make, let me move you and show you. We are going to make a caramel sauce. This one is the Bananas Foster's caramel sauce. But in my house, we don't like bananas. And actually, Ohana even took out the bananas. So in here, I have a half a cup of white sugar, a half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of butter, half a cup of corn syrup. And there it is. And all we are doing, and a half a cup of heavy cream too. All we are doing is we are going to melt, and we want to bring all of this up to a boil. Okay? So, while your bread pudding is cooking, you get to have this cooking as well. It'll make it nice and easy. So you're ready to go. But don't forget to have some ice cream ready to go. So the recipe is down in the description, so you don't have to remember the amounts or what everything is. The recipe is linked down below. All right. So while that melts, I want you to get all nice and ready for the next step. So while this goes, you need another half a cup of heavy cream and a cup of rum. Spiced rum, whatever you're going to want. Now, you are going to cook the alcohol out of that rum. So, it's not going to be, it's safe for kids to eat. And if you don't like rum, you don't have to put it in. It's not a necessity. So, I'm going to let this melt, and I'll be right back whenever it's done melting, and then we can start going. And it's going to take a little bit to come to a boil, about 5 to 10 minutes. And I'll just see you back here when I get done. All right, guys, we are back. We are at a roaring boil here. As you can see, it is bubbling away. All right, so now when it comes to a boil, you're going to take your other half a cup of heavy cream, and you're going to slowly drizzle it in. All right, you want to try, whoopsies. you want to try to keep the caramel, it's pretty much caramel, at a boil. Just keep drizzling it in. All right, so that is in. You want to come bring it back up to a little bit of a boil. You want it bubbling away. All right, so mine came down just a little bit. I was a little too fast, so I'm going to let it go, come up. Oh, there it goes. It's bubbling. And now we get to do a fun part, and this is the part that you have to be careful. You are only doing this if you are an adult. You are now taking your rum and putting it in here. Let it finish bubbling. You're going to smell it. All right, and this is where you're going to also get a lid. Be ready with that lid. All right. I'll turn this down just a tad. You are going to flambe your caramel. There it is. Like I said, you are stepping back. You are letting an adult do this. This is how you're cooking that alcohol out. I'm going to turn my little fan on. Alrighty. Turn that off. All right, and this is your safety net here. It's getting down there. See, flames coming down a little bit. It'll get there. When the flames are done, that's telling you that all the alcohol is cooked out of it. Woo! It's hot in here. I need some marshmallows. Toast some marshmallows, right? Alrighty. We're almost done. I just stirred it just a tad. You get to be fun. You get to be a good chef here. Alrighty, the flame is definitely going down. It was up here. We're down to here now. If it gets too out of control, that's where you have this lid and you place it right on top and it'll stifle it and the flame will go out. But you're going to still let it keep bubbling away because you want that alcohol to burn off. We're almost there. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right, and we're going to let this cook for about 3 minutes. Set my timer there. We're going to let it cook for 3 minutes. It's going to get nice and caramelly, and it's going to turn out wonderful. I promise you that. All right, I'm going to check on the bread pudding. Woo, it's getting there. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. Oh my goodness. I need some pog juice. Oh man, guess I have to go to Ohana for that. Oh, darn it. When you know, right? This is, so essentially one recipe, you're going to get a breakfast bread or even a dessert bread if you want, and a big old dessert for your family. There we go. So all the alcohol is burned off because the flame is gone. I'm just going to give it a nice little stir. It is definitely not ready yet. It is still kind of liquidy. You want it to what's called a firm ball state. And a firm ball state is you get a cup of cold water, you dip some of this in there, and if it forms a ball, you know it's ready. So let me test it out. Let me get some water. And I'll show you. All right. Ready? It is not a firm ball. It has dissolved. That means it's not ready. So it definitely needs to cook for a little bit longer. And you just let it go. Let it do its thing. That is its job. Now that the alcohol is out of it, everything is, you're kind of making what's called a candy. That's where we're going. So, oh, do you like my ears? I made them. Woohoo! So, oh my goodness. This would be a great Christmas Day recipe. You make the bread for the morning. You have it. You want to eat it with your eggs and bacon. And then for Christmas dinner, you make the bread pudding and you make some caramel sauce. And there's your dessert. Perfect. Ooh, because we all know Thanksgiving, we got some pumpkin pie, pecan pie, wonderful things. But here, all right. So I don't think we're there yet. No, not there yet. Ready? Here's our cold water again. Dissolving, not a firm ball yet. We're not there yet. So it still has a decent ways to go. You don't want to boil it too high. You just want a steady boil. That is going to continue to develop. Whoa, that is technically 3 minutes, but I'm not ready yet. My caramel's not ready yet. It still needs some time, but I am going to check on the bread pudding. Ooh, it's looking so good. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Oh my goodness. I can't wait. See, it's not dessert yet for me, but dessert time, but who can say no to Ohana bread pudding? I know I can't. Alrighty. Nope, we're not there yet either, I don't think. Nope, not there yet. Woohoo! Do 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 do. It smells wonderful in here. See? It's still pretty liquidy. You want it to be a little bit thicker to have some caramel. But while that's going, since my bread pudding is almost finished, I'm actually going to flip it around because the one side is browning a little bit too fast. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to get some ice cream out. You watch that, okay? Got my ice cream out. Got an ice cream scoop. Got my fork. So I'm ready to eat when this comes out because I can't wait. It smells way too good in here. Alrighty, let's test this. We're almost there. Let me get some new water. Ooh, we are close. We are close. We are close. We are close. I wonder how much they go through of this sauce a day or even a year. I mean, to me it looks delicious. Alrighty. Let's test it because it's definitely looking thicker. Almost. See, a little thicker. It's getting there. But our bread pudding's not ready yet either, so we're okay. Alrighty. There we go. Let me get some new water and test it out again. So it's still kind of it's solidified a little bit at the bottom. If you could see, You can also take a plate, put some on, let it cool. Oh my gosh. And you can see it's thickening up really nice here. All right, let's try the firm ball again. Nope, not quite. All right, I think we're good here. Oh, there's a little bit for me. All right, let me get a cup. I'm gonna put it in a glass cup and get it off the heat. You don't want it to burn. Alrighty. Here is your caramel sauce. All right, we're gonna put that off to the side. We're gonna check on this bread pudding one more time. Oh, we still got about 10 more minutes, so I will be back. My caramel sauce is done, but I'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we will take a gander at what yumminess is about to come. See you then. All right, guys, it is out of the oven. It is smelling delicious in here. Let me show you. Look at that beauty. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut a slice. Oh, it is so soft. Oh, it's hot. Eee, hot. All right. There we go. All right. Got my bread pudding out. Now I need a scoop of ice cream and little bit of that caramel sauce. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, are you ready? Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh! It takes me right back to Ohana. Oh my goodness. I get to have Ohana bread pudding in my house. If I wanted to be in my jammies, I could be in my jammies. Oh my God. Please go make this recipe. You won't be disappointed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to go finish this in my peace. In peace, I'm going to sit and enjoy my bread pudding. I hope you do too. And until next time, see you in the magic.